hormone replacement therapy. I'd like to talk to you about something that may be at the root cause of why your body continues to be out of balance hormonally, and that's stress. Let me give you the cascade, if you will. So, when we're stressed, and mind you, your body does not know the difference between being chased by a bear and your phone is ringing off the hook. It doesn't know the difference between, a saber-toothed tiger just showed up in your yard and is chasing your kids around versus you have way too much on your schedule. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference. It has no concept of time. It also does not know if you're 5 years old or you're 50. So there can be things buried in there that trigger some of the stress. That is the emotional stress. But there is a cascade that happens when we're in stress. Candace Pert wrote about this extensively in her book, Molecules of Emotion. So if you want to see some of the science behind some of these elements, that's one of the places to go to. So there's this polypeptide cascade that happens when we have emotional stress. Regardless of the root of it, whatever happens, car accident, too much in our schedules, getting into a fight with someone, whatever the case may be, there is a cascade of things that happen biochemically that change your cellular reaction, and through epigenetics can actually change your genetics. So when the mechanism upstream is your hypothalamus, which is constantly scanning for safety. Every 7 seconds, the hypothalamus goes, are we safe? 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 Danger, 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 safe, safe, safe. So it is constantly doing that every 7 seconds. When a signal comes through the hypothalamus that there is danger of some sort, again, it doesn't matter if chased by a bear or if it's too much on the schedule, or too much sugar, or didn't get enough sleep, or the kids left you a mess, whatever it is, there is an immediate release of a whole cascade of chemicals. The big one is cortisol. That's the one we talk about the most. So cortisol is released, and the purpose of cortisol, among other things, is to create chemical changes in the body. As an example, because blood is shunted away from the brain, because the brain switches over to survival brain, our lizard brain. 50% of the magnesium is depleted out of the brain. It's pushed out into the limbs, the blood flow. So the heart starts pumping faster and blood flows pushed out to our arms and legs so we can run faster. So we have all of this and many other changes that happen within the body to get us to be able to run from the bear. And in theory, we should be able to then calm down, right? Once we're free from the bear, everything's good, we calm down. That's not necessarily how things happen, because in our modern life, the demands of life continue, right? So it's work demands, kids demands, it's financial demands, it's the phone's ringing off the hook all the time. We have too much on our schedule. Everybody wants us to go 6 ways from Sunday, and we don't rest very well, and we don't even rest on vacations. I used to book a vacation and then I would pack it full of stuff to do. And then I come back from vacation exhausted. So your body then is producing all this cortisol. There is a limited number of building blocks for the hormones that are primarily used by people. The building block, the core, is pregnenolone, which is produced out of the liver. A toxic liver won't produce pregnenolone very, very well, but we get pregnenolone, and then the body has to decide this limited number of elements of pregnenolone, what to do with it. So we can use it for cortisol, estrogens, testosterone, progesterone. It can be used for different things. And so the body, though, when it perceives you're in stress, will prioritize cortisol. So if there's 100 units of pregnenolone, hypothetically, 100 units of pregnenolone, and the body goes, oh my gosh, we need cortisol, 60 of those units go to cortisol, there's only 40 left to produce all the rest of those hormones. Versus when you're in a calm, relaxed state, Yeah, if there's 100 units, maybe 20 are used to produce cortisol, and then we have 80 left to produce progesterone, estrogens, 3 of them, and testosterone, and any of the others that are produced with pregnenolone. So we end up with low progesterone, ultimately because of the estrogenic effects of the toxic chemicals in our lives and foods. We end up with excess estrogen, many of us, not always. Everybody's a little different, right? We may have low testosterone, women and men, low testosterone. And low testosterone is actually in chronic situation right now. The low progesterone may impact a woman's ability to conceive and carry a baby to term. Excess estrogen leads to or contributes to PCOSs and uterine fibroids, as an example. So we have all of these elements that get out of balance. Mood can be out of balance. When you're not in balance with those hormones, your mood swings can be like super happy, super sad. I went through that period. I remember that. I could go from laughing to sobbing on the floor in a matter of seconds. We are usually not even on our last nerve. There's no nerves left. So everything triggers us to arguing if we're in a fight mode. Everything triggers us to run if we're in flight mode. There's also freeze and fawn. Those are elements of what's triggered when we have a stressful trigger. So now we have this hormone imbalance. And it may impact fertility. It'll impact your menstrual cycles. It'll impact libido for men and women. It throws off our ability to retain or maintain a healthy body composition. It can impact your ability to move and function and exercise. It can impact the amount of pain you have in your physical body, migraine headaches, fibromyalgia, etc. So we have this and so many other things that are impacted by being in this chronic state of stress. The other thing that happens is the adrenals will produce reverse T3, which actually causes your thyroid to dial down. We don't want the thyroid and the adrenals in competition with each other, so the body will prioritize adrenals in stress and deprioritize thyroid. Now, most doctors test just for thyroid. And they'll go, oh, you have a low thyroid, put you on a medication. And most people have no benefit from that medication. But once on it, it's hard to come off of it. You actually have to go through a methodical process to come off of those medications. Versus if we were to teach the body to be in calm, we were to deal with the subconscious emotional triggers that are there that cause stress, the beliefs, maybe some of our lifestyle choices, the toxins we're exposed to, all of these things can contribute to stress, or as you shift them and pivot them, they can contribute to your calm and relaxed, and therefore lower cortisol means all the rest of those hormones come back into harmony. Over time, this is not an instant thing. There's no magic silver bullet pill thing that you can take. I know I know the impacts of this because I was there. I had extreme headaches, 4 different types of headaches, chronic fibromyalgia-like pain, so dry, hot, sticky fascia. I would only sleep 4 to 5 hours a night because number one, my cortisol was revving. So it was very hard for me to fall asleep, even though I was completely exhausted. It was very hard for me to fall asleep. And then I would sleep hard in the morning when I needed to wake up and go to work. This is called cortisol flip. And many, many, many people experience this all the way to the point of complete insomnia, or maybe you sleep and wake up, sleep and wake up, sleep and wake up, which was what my husband did. The body never seems to come out of that rev position. Here's the challenge, though. The adrenals can only handle so much of that. Just to think, if I handed you a shovel and said, I want you to shovel rocks and dirt for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever. you eventually are going to get tired and you're not going to be able to do that work. This is the same of the adrenals. People go into adrenal shutdown, they go into serious illness, they can go into strokes, panic attacks, seizures. All of these are elements of long-term chronic stress. So I try to when I talk about stress rescue, the program that I've developed, I try to be lighthearted about it because I know that people that are very stressed really need more fun as part of the healing process. But you also need techniques and methods and ways to bring your stress down. And I have packed stress rescue with those. Now, when you first do these, and I have a self-guided workbook, and I'll have some videos out that will support your process of walking through it. But doing it with me, when I do the live workshops, is going to be the place where this really takes hold for you. And the live workshops, I'm not going to really go into a whole lot more detail. Maybe a little bit, I'll answer some questions. But really, this is going to be about doing. This is going to be about practical application. This is going to be about solving challenges when you're attempting to do some of maybe the breath work or the subconscious reprogramming work, etc. That's the purpose of this. There's very limited spots in there. I'm only going to allow 9 people into each session because I really want, if you come into that session, when you make that decision to say, I know that this path is not good for me, it's not going to create a life that I love, I'm going to invest a very small amount to be part of this. I know that when you come in there, I want you and I to have direct interaction. I want there to be enough space for you to get great benefit out of that session. That's why I'm limiting them to 9 people. There will be more than one session. So if you don't get in on the first couple, there's going to be more. You can also book one-on-one with me and we can go into very intensive work, which can be very beneficial and really speed up the process. So there is great benefit with us doing this one-on-one. In 2025, I'm going to be developing all kinds of, I've got retreat plans. So come and intensively just relax your whole body, your whole system, your mind. We're going to do it very quickly. We're going to do it in just a few days. And you get to really feel that intensive relaxation and peace. You get to allow yourself into that space. And then you're going to go back and say, this is how I want to live my life. Okay. So here's your next steps. There's going to be a link for Stress Rescue for you to sign up to get notified when the workshop opens. And I'm going to be opening up spots. It's going to be first come, first serve. And you'll get notified via email. And I can send messenger to a limited number of people. But I'm gonna go with email as the primary notification that, hey, Stress Rescue's open. Come on in. Let's do this thing. You're going to get access to the workbook about 2 weeks before we do the live event, because I want you to start reading this and have a foundational understanding and a knowledge. And then we're going to dive right in and we're going to make peace your operating position, the core of your life, where you're coming from, just like I had to do. And I've done it. And lots of people have done it, and you can do it too. I have confidence in you. So your first step is to get your email address to me. So whatever platform you're seeing this video on, go into my link tree, find my website, find me on social media, send me a message, send me an email. I will then get you onto the list of the announcement of when it's going to go live. And I'll give you a few days notice when it's going to go live so you can be ready. And you can get your spot because they are going to fill up. They're going to fill up pretty quickly. People are tired of being stressed out, and so many don't even know that this is an option for them. So once they find out it's an option, when they're ready, like when their heart is telling them you can't live like this anymore, which is what my heart said to me. And if your heart is saying to you, if your spirit's like, you can't live like this anymore, it's not fun. There's something so much better for you. You're going to do it. And it's going to be brilliant, magnificent, and magical. So get in touch with me. Now, if you're hearing this after the first workshop is going to be January 17th. There'll be at least 2 sessions that day, possibly 3, and then February 20th is the second one. So if you're seeing this after January 17th, then you're going to want to get into the February session if there's any spots left available. Still give me your email, because depending on the demand, like if I get enough people who are like, hey, I want to do this, I want to do this, they're committed, I'll open up more sessions. It's not as though I'm only going to do this those 2 times. I'm going to continue to do this work. I want to hear from you guys that you're ready to do it, because it is a commitment and it requires you to say, yes, I'm doing this, and yes, I'm staying on this path. All right, you're amazing. You're incredible. If you've listened this far along, you are already ready. I know that. So send me your information and I'll get you into one of the workshops, and you're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. All right, we'll see you there.